eternity of vapid space. Doomed to wander the galaxy. Broadcasting their nonsense to the void. This is StarCast.
Hi, my name is Chris Roberts, and welcome to StarCast.
Hello, everybody. We are live.
Hello.
Welcome to StarCast. Here we are tonight, and we have a special guest of honor, Mr. Michael Morlan.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thanks.
Well, you guys are so enthusiastic. I don't know what you're doing yourself.
I didn't bring my green screen with me.
No, you don't need one. It's overkill.
Also lost your beard somewhere.
Yeah.
I was trying to get it back now.
A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. We are being live simulcast over on The Base. Say it, Trendane. Come on.
The Base.
It.
No, not that word. It's okay.
That's what you said. You said say it.
Say it.
So I did.
The Base.
Oh. Midget.
Okay, here we go.
Don't do that. It makes me.
Okay, I will stop.
The base.
Yeah. And so, also, tonight, we're doing a giveaway. It's going to be a VIP-only giveaway. I know you guys hate that, but it's the way it works. It could be a VIP bronze, silver, or gold, so any of those. And we are giving away a 300i. Yeah. And so, also, tonight, we're doing... Rico just was playing me back in my own head. What? So that's what I sound like. I could have sworn I was like Sammy Davis Jr. I thought I had that kind of vibe going
So
on.
close.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now your life is ruined.
Fix it. It's all good.
We'll get it. So the Q&A session that we normally do will still happen, but you guys are more than welcome to ask questions of Mr. Morlan, Michael. So if you want to put a question for Mr. Michael, just put in the bracket question like you normally do, but then you can put it right beside it like Michael or Mr. Morlan, whatever you want to put, and then we will ask the questions of him when we get to our Q&A session in a little bit. Sound spiffy?
I think it sounds fantastic.
Oh, shoot. I forgot to turn off the bank heists. Sorry, everybody.
You always do.
I always do. And I'm turning off the arena as well. Sorry. Stop playing games in the channel, damn you. All right. So,
Damn it, people, we do a show.
We do a show.
We do a show.
Do it ourselves. I'm going to cry. Mr. Morlan, good evening.
Good evening.
So, could you give us, a lot of us here are heavy-duty Star Citizen people. We know all about you and everything, but could you give us a little bit of a background on yourself, how you got involved with Star Citizen?
Oh, let's see. Well, that goes back to high school.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Eric and I met in summer theater in high school at a little theater that they did a summer program. That's how we got to know each other. And then we didn't see each other for years and got back together just by accident at Origin Systems. And he had gone on his own life and I had gone on mine through a variety of careers. And I was sitting in the break room and some guys were playing ping pong behind me and I heard this voice go, "Oh, damn." It's like, it turned out to be Eric Peterson. That's how I ran back into him again. 2-3 companies later, I've worked for him a couple times now, and we just kind of connected again on Star Citizen after the big successful opening $6 million fundraiser.
Right. And what did they bring you in initially to do?
Well, I was hired ostensibly to be a project manager and to help Eric with this little show called Wingman's Nuts.
Wingman's Nuts, right?
Yeah. And but there wasn't really much to do with project managing at the time. We were just getting started, just in the basement office in Austin, and they didn't even have an LA office yet. So I just kind of started helping kind of bring up the production value on Wingman's hangar, and I just kept doing that instead of project managing.
So what's your background then? How did you get involved with doing video editing or any of that stuff?
Well, ironically, I didn't have any experience with a webcam or streaming. I'd never done any of that, but I have a background in commercial production. I work as a cinematographer and a DP, shooting feature films and short films and commercials and video and music videos. And that just sort of translated as far as being able to deliver production quality. And then I was jumping into a new space here. I was doing like a television series. So I read a good book on show running and just boned up on all the means of streaming and creating a good show. And YouTube, how to create a good YouTube show, and just kind of got into it that way.
Awesome. All right. What we can do is, before we continue on with Mr. Morlan, why don't we talk a little bit about the news tonight, as far as like with Star Citizen goes, and then if you have any input on that, you can by all means jump in.
Absolutely.
And then we will start a Q&A session in just a little bit, and then of course you guys will answer questions, ask Mr. questions of Mr. Morlan. So yeah, great. Thank you so much for being on our show, and you have a project that we can talk about in a little bit too, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's going on with the news, guys? What's happening with around the verse here?
I see what you did there.
Saw what I did there? What did I do?
With the thing.
With what
Around
thing?
first.
You said around the verse.
Oh, did you see what I was
Wrong
doing?
show.
Different show, completely different show.
It was so subtle, even he didn't realize he was doing it.
Yeah, right.
I like the new logo.
You like the new logo? Is that
I like the new logo.
Remember, they said they had like 3 they were going to cycle through.
Yeah, the one that
But I
lead
like
with
the
is
main
one that Disco Lando made.
I like
Yeah,
Disco
I'll take
Lando's
that
logo.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Kinda
Retro
good.
future kind of look.
Yeah, it's kind of a little retro too, yeah.
I was stunned to discover that he's not a little plastic black guy.
Yeah, he's very white and very bearded.
Yeah, he does that voice really well, doesn't he?
It's all in the processing, though, because he tried to do it on the show, and it didn't sound at all like the right thing. So he probably adds a lot of bass to it. And
He knows how to play the mic.
yeah. So what do you guys think? Last week we said, all right, Ben, big fella, he needs to not be sitting on a couch next to little Sandy and sitting 5 feet over the top of the person they're interviewing, right?
Yes.
And
Staring
then
down
staring
at them
down at them like,
menacingly.
I'm going to crush
We used
you.
to always put him on a low rolling stool, get everybody leveled out on our show, so
Right.
he would quite dominate the space.
So you understand it, obviously, but apparently whatever they have now didn't really quite get that. And so we mentioned it last week, and then sure enough, now they have the Wingman's Hangar alternate desk, I guess, there. And they're sitting at that. What do you guys think? I think it was kind of cool because it was suggesting that we directly made, and it seemed like it showed up on their show.
That's always nice when they're listening. I think that's always been sort of the thing that we did, where we're constantly watching even during a show, we were watching the chat rolls assiduously and getting a sense of what people liked and what worked and what didn't work. And it was a great way of getting some immediate metrics on the show. And I'm sure they're doing the same thing.
Well, that's good. They will probably rewatch this. I know that I know Ben has seen it before, and so hasn't Mr. James Pugh. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So what did you guys think of the new show? Have you been watching it?
Yep.
I watched the latest one.
David Corley.
No. Haven't seen it.
I watched both of them. The second one was far better. I liked the interview with Hoppins. That was really good. I liked watching him do the artwork on the plexiglass, and I thought it was really informative. It seemed to be even more in depth about each one of their specialties so far from what they're going for, and I like to see finally Chelsea was back and she wasn't sick anymore, and they were kind of, I guess that actually getting eyes on Chelsea and them and what they do, that's kind of good, I believe, because she does do a lot for them.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. Let's see here, what else did they do on this one? Other than sneaking in a little bit about the Scout going on sale. They sneak some pictures of that, and then
It's
I like
kind of hard to get a scoop before them.
Yeah, and then I like the interview that they did. What was that new gentleman's name that used to work with Chris?
Tony?
Yeah.
Tony Zerbeck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was a good interview. I haven't watched the long version. I really want to watch the long version of it. But it was a good interview about what he's all about, and I think he will really make the Persistent Universe's economy shine, I think.
I ask a question here that I don't know. Let's just talk about it. Michael, if you want to chime in, you can. I've been noticing, and this is some backlash. Remember when Dan Giesling sort of came on, and everyone sort of like really got angry with him? I've been noticing some like severe backlash coming around the web, just looking at Reddit and some other comments in the forums, that people are just really upset that Wingman's gone with Wingman's Hangar. What are you guys' thoughts?
I am not at all surprised. The communities on the internet are so fickle because we had huge waves. I mean, I would, again, much like you, Michael, would be sitting watching the chat roll while the stream was going out live of Wingman's Hangar, and they'd be screaming, "Why are we wasting money on this? Why is it blah blah blah?" People are talking about how the show has no purpose, no function, and as soon as it's gone, now people are screaming, "Oh my God, can we please get it back?" Fickle.
Well, I think it might not be the same people yelling.
No, it's not. It's not.
Go ahead, Cor.
No, sorry. All I wanted to say was it might not be the same people yelling.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's a spread spectrum of response, and usually we get the very ends of that response are the most vocal. Mm-hmm. So it's
everyone in between that enjoys a little bit of both, they stay silent. They just enjoy the way Yeah.
And so it's we always kind of took the feedback from the chat roll with a grain of salt. Usually we would watch both the RSI chat roll and the Twitch chat roll at the same time, and there's a little different character to each of those. Right. People were a little bit more vocal on the Twitch chat roll than they were over on RSI.
And then the YouTube comments later on. Sure,
and those are always good too, and they were. Most of those were, for the most part, positive. Even critical review was at least useful to us, rather than just being a flame of some sort. Yeah. So I always kind of really enjoyed the community's response, and sometimes we'd put on a new segment that they didn't like. Like I remember Hot Topic was one we did, and we did that with Brittany, and just didn't fly. People were like, yeah, no. So we went on. We killed that one, and in fact, we did a shtick where we threw the Hot Topic opening stinger, and then smashed it with a redacted, and brought up MVP for the first time. So he's one that stuck around.
How do you guys deal with such a diverse community as Star Citizen is? I mean, you have a group of people that are obviously very passionate, and then at the same time they're actually very monetarily invested. I mean, most of the people in this chat have several ships, so I think all of us do, and Clifford has 2 or 3 completionist packages. So how do you deal with groups of people that are not only invested in it as the game goes, like a normal gaming community would be, but you also have that financial backing, so what they're saying actually should hold some weight like an investor would?
Well, I think the big challenge is how to both treat people as a group, as well as respecting those who have become deeper invested than others. I think the big challenge is this is a community. That was a community show, and the one I'm getting ready to do is a community show, and Around the Verse is a community show. So it's kind of hard to listen to the outliers, no matter how vocal or however invested they may be. Because you start pandering to one extreme or the other, and suddenly you don't know what your show is anymore. So you kind of have to find a center place to and just stay with that. And people will either gravitate to the show or they won't.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about what's coming up for this weekend. There's supposed to be a super duper sneaky sale that everyone knows about.
Of course, because it's a secret.
It's a secret.
Yeah, it'll be the first open secret at RSI.
Exactly. Does anybody know? Anyone want to say what it is?
I think, if I remember correctly, they're giving away. Everybody gets a Bengal with LTI.
Yes, actually, an indestructible.
You get a Bengal, and you get a Bengal.
I thought it was a bagel.
It's a bagel carrier.
Oh, like everybody carrier. Be like Oprah. Everybody look under seats. You get a Bengal carrier with keys.
With keys.
I think by the time they're done handing out Bengals, they'll be extinct.
Probably.
Yep, probably.
It's supposed to be the Xi'an Scout coming up this weekend. So we just did a fundraiser for some Madman Moose, and we had 2 of them that we gave away because they were super ultra rare, and now they're back.
So They were still rare though, Joe. I mean, they had LTI, I guess, in comparison.
That's true.
To ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, I'm not saying it was bad that we gave them away. It's just that it was only a couple weeks ago, and it's like we're already at the point where it's back again.
Well, actually, it wasn't a couple of weeks ago. It was back on November 26th, wasn't it?
No, for the Madman Moose thing
Oh, right. Sorry.
that we did to get the fundraiser for him.
Oh, right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But yeah, the last time they went on sale was November 26th, which is a little while ago.
Yeah,
So-
I'll look back at it. They were going for about $150.
What is it? Anybody know what they are now? Is it around the same price?
I think it's around the same price for original backers, anyway.
So, you guys, if you want one, what we're saying is get one now, because the next time it comes back around might be Christmas or later.
Yeah, they go on sale tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is it tomorrow only, or
Yeah,
the whole-
tomorrow. Well, they just said it starts tomorrow, so I don't know if it's just one day only or not.
It'll probably not be one day only because they've had too many issues with one day only in the past.
Yeah.
Well, I think now that they've actually visualized it and modeled it, I think it's going to sell a whole lot better. People are going to have something to really connect with that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
I just wish that had a little bit more artwork with it. It's the only reason I'm kind of waiting if I should jump on or not, because I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, because
I remember streaming something, a little video about the Xi'an Scout. Did we not? Or at least I saw it. I don't remember if it actually made it outside in the outside world, but it's pretty cool.
Is
Yeah,
anybody
they
else
had-
seen it?
Yeah, they only had two on the last the episode that was just shown around the verse. They showed two pictures. One of it flying across the sphere of a planet, and then the other one where it was in landed mode with the two pilots. You could see the two pilots in the seat.
What was really impressive when I was looking, there was some motion video we had. It was a part of a previs that Chris Olivia had done. And it was great because he was moving the camera around the whole bubble canopy, and it was great to see kind of the field of view you would have, especially with a pair of Oculus Rifts on your face. That would be pretty amazing.
I would,
A pair of them?
Two of them?
Yeah, I think there's two. Oh, like a pair of pants. That's what
Yeah, that's cool. No, I have not seen anything in the verse with the Oculus. You have firsthand knowledge of that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have the newer version of the Oculus, or are you still running on the old one?
I think we had one HD kind of the
Okay.
new version. Yeah.
Is it that much better than the old one?
I never got a chance to look through it.
Oh, okay. Because I was just curious, because I tried out the old one at PAX, and it wasn't for Star Citizen, it was for another game, and I was just like,
Crystal Cove.
Well, I look forward to getting them out, getting them in the world a little bit more, because I'm thinking about doing some segments of my show with in stereo.
Well, now that you mention it, let's talk about your show, because we sort of like skipped around it already tonight, but let's just talk about it. So you're coming out with a new show.
Yep.
And could you tell us a little bit what it is?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of things that I really love doing about Wingman's Hangar, and a great deal of it was the fan contributions, and they were many and varied in quality and value. But I missed that when we kind of went to a more of a serious format, less fluff, more stuff, as it was said. And I want to get back to some of that fluff. Get back to some of the. There's such an amazing halo of fan creators. Around every game, and in this game in particular, and I just want to kind of create a show that features them. So we're going to start Galactic Inquiry will be our first show will be on the 27th, Friday at 11 o'clock.
Will you be taking fan submissions for things?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to be reaching out to anybody and everybody who's got something fun they want to share, whether it's a really cool website or a story about their org or a fan fiction video or a story that we might do radio drama theater with for them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, comic books, everything.
I would
Everybody's got so
love
much
to
good
do
stuff.
You know,
Yeah,
actually,
it'd be fun.
I know this guy who's really good at voice acting. He'd probably be awesome on the radio part, because he's really good, and he has yet to get hired by Mr. Chris, and he's very shy too. So he just disappears off the screen. We can see his
I think
socks.
he's left the building.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's I think again that's going to be a show that we're going to kind of respond to what the fans are doing, what the viewers want, and we'll also be creating some of our own original content because we are fans.
Yep.
And that should be fun. Like maybe a little bit more sock puppets. We might bring them back. We'll see how that goes.
Those are pretty funny.
Yeah, they were. It was pretty good.
That was completely out of left field. I didn't see that coming, and then Carla and Dan, my partners, kind of pitched that at me, and I went, "Yeah, really? Okay."
Puppets.
And they did. It turned out brilliant. They really did a great job with that.
We're getting people in the chat wanting you to say for forum feedback.
Oh, God.
Is that copyrighted? Are you allowed to say it?
I think RSI owns that right now. I'm not
okay.
sure I'm allowed to, but
All right, fair enough.
I'll give it a shot. Ready? There we go. Forum feedback.
Feedback.
That's cool.
There you go. See, Northern 88 on command. He just does it for you and everything.
We'll come up with some new stuff for the new show.
All right, so this is actually pretty cool. This is something new that I never saw before until I saw Wes do it from The Whole Truth. It's something called Patreon. I wanted to call it Patron, just in case you might be trying to sell some liquor.
I was going to say, but it's not tequila.
But it's not tequila.
No.
It is relatively new. I only discovered it like a week before that I found out I was no longer going to be at RSI.
Right.
And I immediately thought that might be the tool. So after I felt the community out for whether they would be interested in a post-CIG show, Patreon was the obvious choice to perhaps find a way of making that possible.
So let me get this right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm just go over for people that might not know what Patreon is. It allows people to back you for your show, and they can back you on a per episode, an episodic payment. So if they want, they can come in at like $1. And is it $1? Is that the lowest one?
Dollars from $1 to $20 is what we said.
$20. Okay.
Yeah.
So you come in at $1, and then basically every time you come out with an episode of the show, you get they pay $1.
Yeah, show is free. We'll plan to stream it on YouTube, on Twitch, and then load it up on YouTube, kind of like we did with Wingman's Hangar. But it's the kindness of people to kind of support the show and get some extra benefits that aren't just from watching the show. So it's been kind of fun setting that up, and it's been amazing to watch the response.
Can I ask logistically how it works? Like, if you release the show and you put it on YouTube, do you then click a button that says episode came out? Okay, and then
you pretty much say this is paid content, and of course they're trusting you to deliver something that's worth their time and effort. Yeah.
And $1, come on, that's nothing.
Yeah, that's I think that's the $1 just gets them and keeps them informed about what we're doing, and we give them a few extra behind the scenes things, and then $20 gets you in, and $10 gets you in for a private forum where you can contribute to the show, listen in on the brainstorming as we are thinking up the new shows and new segments. So it's kind of an inside look there.
Oh, that's cool. So you're going to like a bloopers reel and sort of a behind-the-scenes kind of thing?
Well, people with $2 will even get a blooper reel. We'll do some video, things like that.
That's cool.
Everybody get a chance to see some cool stuff.
Awesome. So I put the link in chat, everybody. If you're interested in checking that out, please, there you go. It's a Patreon. Michael Morlan. It's got a bunch of things. Actually, I was thinking of putting it into Bitly because it's a bit of an unwieldy URL for that later on, but that's okay. Clifford tonight looks like Sean William Scott. Usually he looks like, what's his name from Half-Life?
Gordon Freeman.
Gordon Freeman.
Yes.
With no glasses.
It looks like Morgan Freeman. No,
he looks
he
just like Morgan Freeman.
Just get the goatee and put the glasses on.
Okay, he's got the gunners.
I don't
get a crowbar.
Right.
I don't have a crowbar. I do have my little
Head crab.
That fits. The crab hat, the goggles. Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's the head crab's name from Half-Life 2?
What did he call it? I forget. He named the scientist named it something.
Oh, by the way, everybody, yes, Steam Sale has just started. If you have not already heard, go get your stuff. Empty your wallet out all over the place.
Look at Squirrel. Look at Squirrel. Half-Life 3 on Steam Sale.
Yes. Right.
Like he could even count to 3.
Wait, we're getting a request here. Can you do your Yoda imitation, Clifford?
Oh God!
See, this is why you don't do it even once, because you do it once,
and you're gonna have to do it every time.
This is why there are so many voices I don't do on this show, because it's like I will never hear the end of it.
Right.
But go ahead, Clifford.
Do it.
I mean, Master Yoda. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Your father, it is. The strong the force is with you. Yes, I am your father.
Start that sentence by saying your father's tits.
Yes, he did.
No.
And given the fact that he
your
is
father's
your
tits.
That's disturbing.
That is disturbing. Moobs.
Never really imagined milking
Lamar.
Yoda.
Moves.
It's Lamar.
Moves I must have. You will like them, you shall.
Lamar, dance monkey.
1-800 Yoda hot.
Hey, so, we're going back to our vapidity. We're the most vapid voices in the verse, according to some.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess it's a good enough time. We can start our Q&A session. Does anybody else have anything you want to talk about from this week? 10 for the Chairman. Did you guys see it?
No.
I don't know.
Not yet.
I saw the last one, not this
Well,
one.
None of us are watching it anymore.
no, I did.
Yes, unfortunately, I've had an extremely busy week,
Yeah.
so I have lots to report from Imperium. But of course, nobody cares. So,
What's going on with Imperium?
we just rebranded completely.
Oh, yeah?
In the sense that we've got new logos and new new videos and stuff, and all that stuff just went out. So that happened yesterday, I believe, and everyone's really excited about it. But again, that doesn't really say anything for Star Citizen. It's just Imperium stuff going on, which is quite enjoyable.
Now, I see Squirrel is going off.
Squirrel got his pants in a bunch today. He is like Mr. Grumpy Pants today.
Well, in his defense, sort of, but not really. The first third of Wingman's Hangar was Chris talking about the flight mechanics. Now, listening to everything that he said, I completely agree that yes, it's a new mechanic. Guess what? You're not used to it yet. You have to get used to it if you're going to learn how to fly these ships properly. I promise you, if I stick you in a Falcon 9 rocket right now, you probably won't be that good at it. You eventually will be, but right now, no, it's not going to be that good. Now, however, I still agree with you, Geekdomo, that we need the one thing from Elite Dangerous that you and I both want is those lateral reaction control thrusters to be able to strafe.
Clifford wants to, yes.
Strafe is the most important thing there is, and it is absolutely ridiculous that it's currently stuck in decoupled mode.
Yeah, I enjoyed the love of strafe back in Descent days.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Those were when you just literally just strafe around a room and take.
There's
crazy though.
Yeah, there's no Newtonian reason that we should not be able to strafe.
Oh, you can, but you have to go decoupled mode, which makes your ship sort of like a loose banana floating in space.
Yeah, but that's not that shouldn't be the one requirement for strafing, because you can still fire off your thrusters while you're not in decoupled mode.
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to, at least.
Well, no. Chris actually made that quite clear in this thing, is that when you're not in decoupled mode, when you're, I guess, coupled, and you're flying and you're pulling, since you don't have an atmosphere to bank against. It fires these forward RC thrusters to push the nose up against the momentum you already have, thus kind of simulating a bank turn in space of sorts. But since those thrusters are already there, decoupled mode be damned. The thrusters are there. They are already used to simulate sort of proto-atmospheric flight. The fact that those are there, there's no reason that we can't use them, or there's no reason we shouldn't be allowed to use them in decoupled mode or not to strafe slightly. It'll make landing a hell of a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Michael, have you been any kind of meetings about that, or have you heard anything in the background? Why they aren't?
Well, I'm held to a non-disclosure,
okay,
and so I can't tell you that. But I've always been looking forward to a game that was Asteroids in 3D. Mm-hmm. Certainly, if you get into a great decoupled mode and can strafe and spin about and do a Death Blossom in the middle of the broken moon map, it would be pretty amazing.
Have you ever played Elite Dangerous yourself?
Have I played what?
Elite Dangerous?
I haven't played Elite. No, I have not played that yet.
Okay. Because what we're talking about in that is specifically they have a rotating space station. It's just like in 2001. Matter of fact, when I stream it, I play what's that song? The freaking
the song from 2001.
Yeah, but that's not the name of the song.
I know it's not.
It's
also
Alcyon.
Zarathustra.
Alcyon.
No, it's not Alcyon. It's like somebody will tell me in chat. Anyway, so as it's rotating, you have to fly up to it just a certain way, and when you're trying to get your ship lined up horizontally and vertically, it's nearly impossible if you didn't have the thrusters. And so on the X55 or the X52 Pro, you can
the Blue Danube.
Blue Danube, yeah.
I was thinking, is it the Blue
Dankeschön. So anyway, so you can on that one you can just take your finger and you can move the thrusters up and down, and you can just very gently just adjust your ship in that kind of horizontal vertical plane. So it's kind of the problem that we're having in Star Citizen is that you can't. That's not in there. So you want to slide sideways and do a strafe, and
Well, I think in the current World War II flight model, you're still quote flying by wire as the thrusters act on your behalf to simulate an air mass. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what balance we find between pure Newtonian, out of control. Oh my God! If I can't possibly even stop my rotation, between that and the traditional kind of wing commander flight kind of mechanics. I'd like to see if they can find a place where you can allow that strafing space in the fly-by-wire space and still give you that extra access of freedom. It would be pretty cool.
It's just that, like, right now, because you can't really change vector once you're in decoupled mode, it feels so limited. You're either moving your vector or you're just spinning around. It's just you're missing like that one dimension that makes that nice space. I don't know how to exactly put it, but to be able to vector whilst using your thrusters might be, I don't know.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's either complete assist or you're completely on your own.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to find that middle point where you can, where a server can set up some space between those two extremes.
Yeah,
Maybe that would cause too much of a inconsistency between the players, because if one player has the time to spend, because like for example, I've been watching a lot of people do it myself. I haven't done it myself with Star Citizen's dogfighting module, but I have done it in Elite Dangerous, and that's to set up voice attacks, which allows me to easily just say commands and it just does it. And that takes some time. You just don't. Well, I guess you could technically just download it and install it, but for the most part, it still takes time and it needs a microphone. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh my God, I don't want to have to talk to my video game. I just want to play it." But when you're doing that, it's just giving a player an unfair advantage that has the ability to do a microphone and take the time to set it up.
Well, it's not a level playing field, is it? I mean, everybody's got different joysticks and different lag times, and so I think it's kind of cool that I saw that demo with the voice attack. That was pretty amazing, and I'd love to have that.
It's $7.
Yeah,
it's like really cheap, a lot of fun. I've been goofing around with it, and Trendane's been goofing around with it. You guys have been using it too. Clifford has.
Yep, I got it. Yeah, makes it a lot easier to go into decouple and like good stuff.
I'll pass. I'm okay. It's just I like my buttons.
Yep.
I do like my buttons.
Well, I mean, I use all my buttons on my Warhog, but it's still flat. Right now, I just find it really hard to pilot it with it right now currently.
Yeah, the thing is, right, I come from mostly FPS games. I'm actually not that much of a flight game kind of guy, but I've always loved the concept of spaceships. So that when, Star Citizen came around, I was like, yes. But the one thing that I feel like I miss, and which is exactly what I said 5 minutes ago, was in an FPS, you have the ability to strafe around your opponent, which gives you an extra level of, control over yourself, your entity, your unit, whatever you're, currently in control of. And with the current Star Citizen, the way that it's set up, I feel like I'm either a straight rocket or I'm a spindly rocket. And I'm not, I can't go perfectly strafing around an asteroid to make those beautiful maneuvers that you would see in Star Wars, for instance, where they're already, with their ass facing away from the asteroid, coming back around and doing the cool moves and stuff like that.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica. They never really strafed in that one though.
No, well, they did the flipping thing that what's her name did. Starbuck. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, going back to real flight mechanics, I mean, a helicopter is completely vectorable. I mean, you can still you can still imply air mass if that's the model that you like, and use the rotor kind of vehicle for that strafing model.
Yeah, exactly. You illustrated it perfectly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, if you have that ability added, I mean, it just adds so much to a dogfight that previously was unthinkable because it was, atmospheric flight, World War. You had to keep a certain speed to stay in the air. In space, you don't need that. So having that ability would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is space. You can do it for sure. Like, there's no physics limitation in doing that. It's just an engine thing,
Yeah, and I think it would add a cool effect too. I mean, you're using your thrusters to go to the sideways, and with the awesome damage states they have, one gets damaged, then you're kind of it'll knock off your trajectory and give the other guy advantage if he's good. So I think it would add a new dynamic to it also, being able to have that ability.
That's an interesting point you make, because that can also affect how you manage your shields and move them around to protect your flanks if you're moving in a certain direction.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other strategy you're going to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Those damage states are pretty awesome in Star Citizen, I gotta say.
Yeah. Chris Smith did a great job. I can't remember, there's some other people who helped build those, but he did some of the initial ones for the Hornet.
Yeah, they're really
It makes
cool.
me laugh to hear Clifford say that it's going to add another, dimension to the thing, and people are already bitching about how difficult it is to use the control scheme the way it is, and here we are talking about adding another. However, this other dimension might actually make it easier. Sort of.
Right, exactly.
Well, I
It'll make it
certainly
more
wouldn't want to
intuitive.
go. I certainly wouldn't want to go to uncoupled mode in the middle of the Broken Moon asteroid field. That's just
Chris
instant
talked about.
death.
Yeah.
You saw what happened the moment Chris turned his back on the PAX East demo and smacked right into into an obstacle. And that'll happen instantly if you're trying to spin around and take out an opponent from behind you.
Yeah, I don't. As far as when I'm dogfighting, I hardly use decouple mode. It's just too much of a crutch.
All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started with our Q&A time. Now, Michael, when we do this, these are written from the people that are in the chat right now. I've got no way to pre-screen them. We can screen them before we read them, but if there's something that you don't want to discuss or you're under an NDA or something like that, by all means, just say, let's skip it, and there's no harm, no foul there. We'll just move on to the next one. We have a guy named Cyberwolf in the audience who will probably write at least 450 questions, so we're not short on questions by any means. But everybody else, if you would like to ask questions, just go ahead and put the questions in brackets so that we can grab them. Bod's in the chat right now, and he's grabbing them and sticking them in the chat for us. And if you'd like to ask a question specifically of Michael, just put question Michael or something like that so we know that that's a Michael-only question. Of course, while we're going through this, he can answer these too because he has probably more knowledge of this stuff than we do in our vapidity. But maybe if...
I wouldn't say that.
Well, maybe if we're not able to... Maybe if you can't discuss it because you're NDA, we can go full vapid on it and just think what we think. So it all works out. All right, guys, let's start our first question off. Trendane, would you like to read the questions tonight?
I'm starting to pre-read them now.
Very good.
First question comes from Squirrel. I think I've heard of him before.
Yeah,
his question is, why make a new set for Wingman's Hangar for only a few episodes?
Well, we didn't expect it to be only a few when Chris dropped that amazing furniture on us. And we rented the space in order to give that furniture a place to live because it wasn't fitting in the office. We tried one episode in the office, you may remember, and the noise floor from all the air conditioning was so high. It was like 60 decibels when I read the meter. Just made it impossible. We got one of the lowest thumbs up, thumbs down ratings on YouTube on that episode because the sound was just so terrible. So that's why we rented a room and put the furniture in there and set up that paper cyc and hung some lights in the ceiling and called it done because we thought we were still going. We had not gotten the news we were done yet.
Can I ask roughly? Can you give a basic breakdown of what each episode cost to make?
Well, it was pretty much just my salary.
Okay.
It was just me producing it, so I was pretty much a one man band. And I guess if you also consider when some of the big packages, the news packages, came out of LA, they consider everybody else's time that was involved in that. So a few other man hours, but that was it. But that's why it was. We tried to keep it simple and accessible and low key, so that we weren't spending a lot of time trying to maintain something that was too unwieldy, and two, it's the fans' money, and we had to be very respectful of that.
All right.
From Malefic Gamer, why do you think Steam and CIG hate our wallets, or do you think they really like our wallets?
I think the big challenge when we were working in the show in Women's Hangars, we never talked about the money, and certainly that's obviously a big looming aspect over everything we're doing. What are we at now? 40s, approaching 47 now.
47.
With the 47, and of course all of that was such a huge surprise. And I think Chris brings this amazing hat trick of his past experience, the trust that he kind of gained from that, from Wing Commander series and all the things he's done in the past. That was just kind of the perfect fundraising formula that he put together originally, and he just keeps it up. That's the one thing that Star Citizen's done, I think, that nobody else has done, is they have actually evoked the magic of owning a spaceship. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it was so clever to make the hangar module the first thing.
Yes.
So that people could walk around their possessions and kick the tires and climb aboard and jiggle the controls. How clever was that?
It's brilliant.
And so when we went to Gamescom and we had 1,000 some odd people in a room just cheering us on, it's because they were there to participate in that magic. And I think that's really central. And that's why CIG and Steam love your money, is because they're creating the magic for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Trinity. I was going to say something, but
okay, I was going to wait and let you say whatever.
No,
the
it's
thing was.
okay. I'll bring it up later. It's okay. It's something I was thinking about, but it doesn't really fit right yet.
Okay.
There's a question coming up later that it fits better with, so I was going to wait.
All right. From Cyberwolf. Well, they just released the first pics of the Xi'an Scout and announced the sale this weekend. Statement, not a question.
Yeah, no,
However, the question that feeds directly into it is, what do you think, and are any of you interested in this crazy-looking ship?
Oh, I definitely.
Already got one.
Already got one.
I do not.
I don't like to buy sight unseen, so I was waiting for them to actually concept it.
Oh no, but I would have, thrown it away if it was really terrible. It's just that when it still had LTI on it, I was like, if I truly, truly don't want it, there's always Reddit.
Michael, that brings up a good point. How many ships do you have? Is your significant other in the room?
Oh, no, she's not here right now. So
okay, when she's around, you've got one ship.
I've got an Aurora.
Mm-hmm. Just an Aurora that somebody gave you, and
yeah, right. Somehow it was an award, a perk. Mm-hmm. No, I've got the Aurora, got the 300i. Can't remember which one. And I've got, of course, the Hornet package. Mm-hmm. LTI on the Hornet, which is good. Got that early. And I also got my hangar. I'm going to just take a quick look at my hangar real quick. I don't remember. Let's take a look at my ships. Here we go. I just got the Freelancer MIS.
Yeah, me too.
I thought that was pretty damn cool. Got the Cutlass.
Yep.
And the Origin 325A and the Constellation.
Nice.
The Constellation.
You got a good spread.
It's a good spread. Well, yeah, I want to be able to kind of do everything from support missions with the Aurora, refueling or transpo, to getting a crew together on a Constellation and going out like somebody from the Firefly.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I can put in my Firefly shirt.
Oh yeah.
You can't see it. You can look on the stream.
I was going to say, yeah.
Stream.
In about 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, you'll see it.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
They'll eventually show up.
From Frankie76. Michael, is the beard being back because of your poll?
This is so weird, not knowing the context of that question.
Because I was...
Yeah, wow, that's I don't share that usually, but no, I did I set up an email sign-up list and included a poll about whether I should keep my beard or not.
Oh, okay.
So there was a lot of positive response in that regard. I'm an actor, so if I got to do a role that doesn't require the beard, I'm going to strip that thing off again. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to have to live with that, I think.
Mine goes every 3 weeks, so people live with that.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to grow mine out to make it into a Viking beard so I can braid it.
I was working on set on features and stuff. Summer would roll around, and it's like, that thing's coming off. Because it's just hot in Texas in the middle of the summer shooting feature films.
Yes. I'm sorry.
But most important data point here is Carla really likes it, so that's an inspiration to keep on. Yeah.
That's your wife's name?
It's my girlfriend's name. She's my partner, as well as Dan. They're the two of them are sort of our creative team, and they put the show together.
Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about them real quick?
Sure.
Who the people involved with?
They created sock puppets, so that's it's their voices and their hands moving around. Carla's got a background, and she's got a PhD in economics, so she's a pretty smart cat. She's smarter than me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, my wife is too.
I'm constantly getting schooled by her. Mm-hmm. But she's a writer. She's got a couple novels. She's got Walking Around with Agents right now, which is kind of exciting for her. And we've both been working in media production for some time. Dan's got a background in 3D data visualization and 3D modeling, and he's kind of been picking up the animation kind of side of things as well. Recently, he's been doing an interesting product, creating 3D printed models for bespoke work for companies and stuff like that. So, kind of a diverse little kind of set of skills there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, next one there, Mr. Trendane. What are you looking at? Oh, he's
hearing music.
Oh, it's just in your head.
I doubt that. The music that plays in my head is not what I'm hearing.
Oh, okay.
No, it is not. So, from Cyberwolf. After reading Chris Roberts' explanation of the flight mechanics for Star Citizen, are any of you satisfied with the direction of the flight mechanics?
I think we talked about this.
Yeah.
We did. Kind of asked and answered. Okay. From Northern 88, Mike, what are you most nervous about with starting the new show?
The responsibility of producing something that everybody likes. It's a little scary. That creative fear, I think, is the big thing right now. And sitting in front of the desk, sitting behind the desk for the first time. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Because it's your production.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean by
Eric
being
did just an amazing job of it. I mean, he's a natural. He's a natural on camera, a natural person who engages people really well, and he's got a background in stand-up comedy, and I think that was the heart of the show. He was the anchor for a reason.
He seems like he's your buddy. Like when you watch a show, you're like, okay, I could hang out with this guy and have a beer with him.
Well, and that is it. You know, of course, you're always kind of turning it on when you get on camera or you go out to an event. But he really genuinely likes people and likes hanging out and just having a beer. You should have seen him at Gamescom in Germany. He was sitting outside on the curb with people, just talking and chatting, and it was just a group hug the whole time. It was pretty amazing. And I've got a different style. You know, people have called me dignified, although I think that's probably I'm going to break them of that illusion pretty quickly. But I think I won't be quite that kind of the Eric energy. It'll be kind of a different kind of vibe for me.
Awesome. Oh yeah! By the way, everybody, just to mention again, we are giving away a 300i, and in about 15 minutes we'll start our raffle for that. It is a VIP only raffle, including VIP bronze, silver, and gold. So anybody who's a VIP member is more than welcome to enter into our raffle. If you'd like to get a VIP membership, you can subscribe, or you can donate, or you can win the bronze. But unfortunately, we don't have a bronze raffle going off right now, so you'll have to wait. So, all right, back to the topics at hand.
From Cyberwolf, you'll hear this.
You got a lot of questions for me.
Oh yeah, every week.
Every week he writes them ahead of time, like a month.
He keeps us unvapid.
Yeah.
Right, because he's going back to Star Citizen and stuff, and we want to talk about monkeys and shit.
He's basically just giving us entirely new topics to talk about. And half the time, they're not even questions.
So was anyone else shocked? See, this actually starts with a question.
That's good.
Shocked at the reveal of the new hire interview for Tony. You said it was Zurovec, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I was pronouncing that correctly. Chris Roberts had the idea for an open-world GTA 3 type game before Rockstar came up with it, and came up with the idea, and some suits just didn't get it, so it was never made. That is a very convoluted question.
Yeah, I'm trying to grab what he's trying
I'm not sure that's a question.
Is the question, are we shocked, or...
Well, that was kind of the question.
Are we shocked?
No.
Are we shocked that the suits didn't get it and it was never made?
No.
Okay.
Let's go.
We're totally shocked.
The immediate follow-up question is, do you think they are kicking themselves in the ass for being stupid suits?
Probably, yes.
No, I'm sure they've, drank and had affairs and stuff. So
if they are worth their Brooks Brothers, they better be regretting that.
Well, there's always been an uneasy alliance between independent studios and publishers. It's just like any development. No matter what the business, you see this sort of thing where you create development financing, and then if you get to that approval, then you get the next round of financing, and it's a proper model for when you are managing millions of dollars and you're a publicly traded company with responsibility to the quarterly reports rather than to the vision of the game. And I think that's one of the things. It's one of the values of having a private company like Robert Space Industries is, Cloud Imperium Games. I have seen this multiple times. I have seen the shift to public entity destroy creative companies. I've seen it destroy an architectural firm. I've seen it destroy Origin systems, and it's just it doesn't belong. Responding to quarterly reports and stock reports does not best serve the creation of something like a game or a building, or it just doesn't work. I know that we. Granted, I worked for Richard Garriott, and our games ran long because we were constantly reworking them in a very volatile space at the time. Back in the late '90s, we were getting hardware acceleration for the first time. The hardware accelerators were changing drastically. Microsoft DirectX was dropped on us in the middle of development, and so we were constantly having to rework existing designs in order to fit the new technologies. Mm-hmm. And but I think that because we were facing a quarterly report, we had to rush Ultima 9 Ascension out the door, and it wasn't ready, and it was full of bugs. Got a lot of heat for that, and that doesn't serve anybody. You have to respect people like Steam who said, you know what, we're gonna put this out when we're ready, and we don't care what you think. You're the publisher, so what? We're not going to let you in the door until we're ready to put this on the street. So
they have the clout to be able to do that.
But
yeah.
Now you know that Steam is just the people that dug this massive hole in the earth, right, all the way straight to the core, and are just dumping money into it. And when it finally fills up, then they might consider releasing a new game for us.
Yeah. But
I think everybody earns that privilege.
Yeah, right.
Based on what they've already done, and
right,
and get your shot, and you get to do it again if you do it well.
Yes, right, exactly.
So, what do you think of this new model that Chris Roberts just sort of has all the time in the world to come out with this game, other than the fact that everyone wants something right now?
Well, there's the danger, right?
Now.
Yeah, there's the danger. I mean, now you have no checks and balances, and it's kind of like the freedom that Chris was given or Richard were given back in the day. They had kind of proven themselves, and so they were allowed to run with stuff maybe longer than they should have. Mm-hmm. So I think the big challenge for Chris, and that's why people like Tony Zurovic have joined, is to kind of maintain some sanity about milestones and what you include in them, to have some really experienced senior people who can say, yeah, we can do this in the time we have in order to deliver this for a demo. Yeah. And it's not keep cramming new things into the last minute. That's the big challenge.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I was actually about to bring up. The fact that, at least for indie releases, I know from what I've seen in the industry, it's good to keep people on sort of tight budgets and keep them kind of, I guess, a little hungry for that. Because in smaller development studios, it actually works out that people have a real passion for the game, and because the budget isn't millions and millions of dollars, the atmosphere is actually a lot more relaxed when it comes time for quarterly reports. So I guess in indie, that's why indie titles tend to have, even ones that are sponsored by these huge companies like Sony and Nintendo, they tend to be a lot more interesting and fun and creative, and they still have that kind of energy that you see on like truly independent releases. But on AAA titles that have $100 million budgets, because the investors are putting so much of their own capital in there, there's a lot more nervousness and a lot more stress and a lot more tension just around the idea of it being a product more than just a game or an experience.
And there you go. Investors put money in to get money back. They don't want to, sit there for 5 years going, what are you doing with my money? Just get it done in 4 and get me the turnover because you're an investment. That's all you are. I don't care that you're a gaming company. You could be a solar power plant for all I care. Just give me my money back. That's how it works. That's how most investors are.
And as it should. I mean, that's the backbone of our economy is is loans.
Yeah.
That kickstart new innovation. Otherwise, we wouldn't have anything if we couldn't borrow money.
Yep.
All right, you want to go to the next one there, Trendane?
Sure.
That was a good question.
From Astrofury. We'll start with the PS. The PS is, Michael, I love your work. Thank you. The actual question is, do you have one particularly fond memory from Wingman's Hangar?
Oh wow! There's so many. The best part about producing that show was each week we would sit down in an editorial meeting at the beginning of the cycle and just brainstorm what we were going to do. And the things that we had to throw away that we didn't include in the show because they just were maybe a little too edgy or too out there. That brainstorm was a lot of fun. Stuff you didn't even get to see was some of the best things. But on the show, one of my favorite things was got to be Mark Skelton doing the Hazy Thoughts.
Yeah, right.
and that was a big fan favorite too because it was just so out of left field. And it was one of those things that we created. I created it inspired by Mark's original interview that we shot, and it was his idea to shoot at a hookah bar.
Oh, it was a hookah.
Yeah, it was a real hookah bar called the Arab Cowboy in Austin, and the gentleman there who owns that is very sweet to let us come in there and shoot and take over a room. But so that interview went so well. I thought, you know what, this is Mark Skelton. I need to capitalize on that. So I kind of came up with this whole spin on Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy from the SNL.
Yeah.
And so it was going to be the Hazy Thoughts. So we just kind of built a bunch of just created that character that he sort of portrayed, and just built on that. And that was a lot of fun. That was one of my favorite things because it was fun watching the chat rolls explode when we would stream that piece in the show.
From As Tricky. Did you do the post effects and title sequences as well? If so, what software did you use to make them?
A variety of, I did all the graphics. Now, some of it, I cheated now. There's some of those graphics were from libraries, like After Effects templates, like for instance, the stingers in the middle, like for instance, Fan Focus and then Wide World News. Those were packages, and I would adapt them for the show. But yeah, I did the opening and closing graphics for all that stuff just by hand. The original background of all the World War II era planes flying through, that was just a piece of a looping stock image. And then, of course, I reworked it for later on when we replaced that all with hornets flying through the rain. But yeah, it was a combination of other people's work and my own.
Sorry, real quick, everybody, interrupt. We are starting our VIP raffle, so all you got to do is it's only for VIPs, so VIP bronze, silvers, and gold. Go ahead, guys, dump in. This is for a 300i. It's not the package, it's just a ship, and I'll be giving it away to you after the show. All right, go ahead. They're lovely birds, like budgies.
From Cyberwolf.
Who's this guy, Cyberwolf? No, I know who he is.
Never heard this name before. He says, I donated to your Patreon fund, and I'm very excited for your new show. Does this mean I owe you now? Own you now?
Give me a lot more than what I own. Although I am open to sponsorships.
Yeah.
Seriously, one of the things that we're thinking about doing, and I was very careful about how I set up that Patreon thing. I got a piece of advice from someone about, you don't know how much people are willing to support you. And he was recommending some much larger reward levels. I thought, I don't want to make the show first about raising money. I want to make sure it was first about honoring fans. Mm-hmm. So I kept the Patreon pledge levels kind of low. But one of the things that we want to do is, in order to make the show even more viable, is we'll float new segments and try something out. And if people like it, it's possible to find someone to sponsor that segment. This segment brought to you by, and that'd be kind of fun to do that. There's I'm in talks with someone about doing some hardware builds and tests, like building a great rig and just kind of going through the process. Because a lot of people, one of the high costs of entry to Star Citizen is knowing how to build a superior rig, and not. So I think that's great for all the people who grew up with Wing Commander and they're now moneyed and can. Dig into the guts of a PC, but not everybody has it. I think one of the segments that we could do is really kind of show what it takes down to the board level.
One of the primary things being buy your parts, assemble yourself.
Yeah, exactly, which I think is critical. to create the kind of game, the kind of machine that's going to play Star Citizen, and also to keep upgrading it, to add incremental upgrades in order to keep up with the times.
You'll
so I
save
think that
$1,000
kind of segment
easy.
would be perhaps sponsored by the hardware manufacturers or something.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Possible. Just thinking about things.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Get AMD to give you some cards.
But yeah, you could save $1,000 by buying the individual parts rather than one of those pre-built.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Things,
And you'll know what's in it. And you will have the satisfaction of having kind of booted it from the very ground up.
It doesn't say it anywhere, but the assembly cost for like one of the $6,000 Alienware things is like $2,500 for no reason.
You're paying all that extra, yeah.
And I like that satisfaction, like you're talking about, because you built it, it's yours, and then and you actually take care of it more. And
you know what to do if it breaks, because you're like, oh, it's the video card's acting up, and you can fix it.
And if you're a bit
there's a
scared,
rich
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, if you're a bit scared, just look around you. There is someone in your vicinity that has built their own computer, probably in the last year or so. So you'll.
Well, there's a rich maker community. There's a rich PC mod community. You'll find it online. It's not the dark ages anymore, like when I grew up. When I grew up, yeah.
All right. Next question.
The next question doesn't say who it's from, but it says it's apparently to me and says, voice actors, you is? Yes, I'm a voice actor. Moving on. From Utide. Since Clifford is sitting in for StarCast, does Clifford wear pants?
Are you wearing pants, Clifford?
Yes, I am wearing pants.
Shit. Damn it. Get off the screen, Clifford.
Amateur.
Hey, I was wearing no pants before the show, so all day.
Well, we don't want to know any about that stuff.
Yeah.
That's your own private time.
You don't
want... We all know Clifford works at Chippendales, so when he comes home, he would like to wear pants.
Just so he can rip them off.
Exactly.
They're all Velcro down the side.
Yep.
Or they're not, and he just buys new pants every day.
Yeah, I don't want to piss off.
We're getting calls for take them off now. That's okay.
From
you have to. It's okay.
From Cyber, no. And the answer is no. Okay. From Ghostwalker21.
I would like to see a voice off. How would you do a voice off? How could you do a voice off? Who does the better what?
No. That's not what the question is. The question is, can Tredane and Michael have a voice off to see who has more voices?
Oh. Are you a voice actor, Michael?
Oh, yeah, I am so out of practice, but see what I can do here.
All right.
I'll just have to whip out my old demo reel, so I'll play that, right?
Okay, here we go. One from Michael, then we'll go to Trendane, we'll go back. We'll go back and forth.
All right. Well, of course, I'll bring out the one that I was using most recently. I'm Alistair Sinclair Fitzsmithy. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night.
Trendane, go British.
Okay, Mr. Fitzsmithy, I do love your show. It's especially... It makes me want to eat fish and chips out of a cement bag, however. I don't know why. They're paper anymore. It's just salt and vinegar, except we're replacing it with magnesium and potassium. I don't know why.
Ooh, that sounds absolutely fantastic. That wasn't worth anything. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
You want to try again?
All right. Here's something I did from a fun game that never saw the light of day because it was for the Gizmondo.
Mm.
And the name of the title was Hit and Myth, which was a kind of a fun thing.
I like that.
Good morning, recruit. Welcome to the Arcane Department of Heroic Defense.
Sarge. Go, Sarge.
What exactly do you people do here at this department thing of department redundancy department that you so valiantly claim that you have apparently peopled with people of peopleish stature?
That's ADHD for you.
Excellent. All right, thanks, guys. Very good.
That was good.
2 each.
Oh, you want to go more? Oh, Trinity didn't want to do it. Okay.
Keep going.
All right, keep going. That's fine.
I was going to skip it all, but no, you decided.
No, that's fine. If you guys want to go. All right, let's see.
Michael's turn.
I'll throw one at you.
Okay.
Let's go for your best Harry Firestein.
Harvey
Firestein. Can you do it, Michael? Can you do a Harvey Firestein?
Let me let Trendane lead on that one.
Go ahead, Trendane.
Oh, God.
Like, you can't do it, Trendane. You do it in your sleep.
I'm just trying to think.
What are you standing here for? I gotta get moving. I can't stand around here.
That's not good. It's a little bit too much Bronx in there, but...
Well, he's actually from the Bronx, so... No, he's from Brooklyn. Sorry.
Brooklyn. Mom, what are you calling me for now?
Which just makes me think, why did I just send my mother to Atlanta? Yeah, it's just, I love the guy so much.
That's the only reference I have for him these days is from that movie.
It's from Independence Day?
Yeah.
You need to see Torch Song Trilogy.
Oh, yes, of course.
Was he in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert as well?
No, no. But that's worth it just to watch Agent Smith from The Matrix and General Zod from Superman 2, both as drag queens.
As drag queens. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. Well, ever since Terrence Stamp did that for Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Yeah.
Because there's, and then you want to follow that up with Patrick Swayze in Tu Wong Fu.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
And Wesley Snipes.
Yes.
And John Leguizamo.
Yes. Yeah. If you want to go,
three of them, amazing.
They were amazing.
They're just great.
And going back to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, to see Guy Pearce as Felicia Jolly Goodfellow, I'm like, oh my god, what an awesome drag queen name! Oh my god!
Before we knew Guy Pearce was a Guy Pearce. Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess we'll call an end to the.
Okay, that was okay. and thank you guys. Thank you so much. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. As you guys know, who are not maybe watching this for the first time, we do go vapid from time to time and talk nothing about Star Citizen or anything else. So
Best Arnold.
From Ghostwalker 21, a question, which is not quite a question. Thoughts on the Xi'an Scout artwork?
What a good idea.
I think it's open for everybody. What do you guys think?
I've seen the new stuff, if there is any. I haven't seen it. I've seen the thing where it's hanging vertically in the
like a bee bomber, bee type.
Yeah,
bomber?
the B-wing.
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 And of course, it articulates and can land and all kinds of stuff. That's first for me. That's the first ship that I wanted to really fly around. That felt like it belonged in this universe. In this,
it looks real
period.
gimbal. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that can strafe.
Maybe.
I just love the look of the engines on it too. And the pictures, the engines look really nice.
Yeah, I just like the way it looks. Actually, I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to fly too.
Well, especially it being an explorer, I can see why they made it as a scout because I mean it looks real maneuverable. So if you're out in pirate verse, you can actually get out of a fight real quickly. Hopefully, I would think in that part.
Yeah, no, it looks good. I mean, I don't regret buying it. So,
all right, next.
Also from Ghostwalker 21, to Michael Morlan, why did you choose to continue to work on a Star Citizen show? I'm sure there are many other projects you might want to work on.
Sure, I could have gone back to full-time on shooting features and hot summers, but here's the reason. I got to know the fans, and I was just kind of fell in love. So, and I just want to kind of stay in this space. I think when these people put their minds together and their hearts together, and they show up for an event, and they share themselves, and this is coming from an actor space. As an actor on stage, one of the most amazing things for me has been this sort of energy that happens between the audience and you, and the trust that gets kind of placed both on you and that you give to the audience when you need to expose yourself, as it were, emotionally. It's stunning. And that's sort of what we did every week on Wingman's Hangar, is we just kind of put ourselves out there for critical review and response. And it's so validating. And I think that's kind of what centrally drives, kind of in my deepest space, is that opportunity for connection. And working on feature films, they're fun. You've got the team around you, but I've worked on 15 feature films. Mm-hmm. They've barely seen the light of day.
Really?
Yeah. So it's hours and days and months of work. It's just lost. And every week I would work on a Wingman's Hangar, and people would get to see it. and share themselves, and they would put themselves on the line. We were sharing the videos of the questions, the fan question videos, and whatever they would put out. They were putting themselves on the line too, and I think that's kind of the trust that we try to build with each other, and that's why I do it. It's just amazing.
From Ghostwalker 21, who's apparently vying for competition with Cyberwolf.
It's fine. It's fine.
For Core and Perfect, thoughts on the World Cup so far?
Okay.
Wait, I watch it every night. This is the only night I haven't seen it.
Well timed.
I know that you want to talk first, so I'm going to let you talk first. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
I'll be very quick. Okay, so first things first, let's start with the games I actually watched. Germany 4-0'd Portugal. Totally kicked their ass.
Yeah. Which is great for America.
Good job. I can't believe the United States beat Ghana.
I can.
So funny.
And they're going to lose the next game, so just relax, people.
Are they getting their forward back? I mean, he got injured, and
they might be. I think that's a game time decision, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Belgium beat Algeria in a game nobody cared about. Russia and Korea Republic tied in a game nobody cared about. Brazil and Mexico tied in one of the greatest matches in World Cup history.
That was an amazing.
Some of the most amazing saves by the Mexican goalkeeper, I gotta say.
That guy was on it. That was ridiculous.
Some of those saves were just like so clutch. I was doing things that I cannot show on camera.
It's like, where the hell did this guy come from, right?
Exactly. Australia, Netherlands. Good job, Netherlands.
I gotta say though, that was too close for comfort. Too close for comfort, but it was that Australian penalty that just dropped everyone's morale through the floor. It was like, are you fucking kidding? Why'd you stupid fucking defender? Anyway, so yeah, that penalty was ridiculous, but came back. Percy just instantly with the rebound, with the save, and then that final fuck you round by Depay, which was an amazing kick. That was just the effect to that kick was so beautiful. When you first see it, it comes straight down the middle, and then it swerved just a little bit.
Enough.
It was brilliant because you could see the keeper, right? Instead of having his arm fully extended to like reach for the ball, he pulled it back. And it was like, no! Too late. It was gone.
Too late. That thing was split gone. Second of just that bad decision making. But yeah.
Anyway, Netherlands is through. Definitely, we'll see this Sunday whether or not we choose to play against Mexico or Brazil. But then again, by choose I mean whether they put in an effort against Chile, because Chile is looking like it's a real contender right now, and we're really excited about that. But we're wondering if Netherlands, depending on the Sunday game, is going to put in all their effort, or if they're going to say we don't mind playing against Brazil, because it's going to come down to Brazil and the Sunday game who they're going to be playing against. So it's going to be interesting.
Indeed. So speaking of Spain, Chile knocked them the hell out. The reigning champions are gone. 2-0'd by Chile.
Wow.
Well done there. I hate Spain, so
everybody.
You hate Spain the country or just the team?
Oh, I love Spain the country.
Yeah, I was going to say Spain's beautiful. I've been there a few times.
Beautiful country, but I hate their football team. So let's see what else.
We should be talking about Sadaball instead, apparently.
The thing is, if it's not World Cup, I don't care. I don't care about football.
Oh, me either, yeah. It's like that with me with the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn about regular American football.
But that's not where the best football is played. The best football is played in, like, the Bundesliga and, like...
Yeah.
But I don't care about those. It's just World Cup for me.
Man.
I'm sorry.
All right, let's move on. We've lost like 100 people.
I can keep going.
I know, that's why I want to stop, because we could analyze this and that game. Let's move on. We could be vapid about other stuff.
From either, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. It is either Red1408 or Redone408. In either case, regardless of how it's pronounced.
Who just joined the...
Just subscribed.
Joe subscribed, yes.
Well done there.
Also, real quick, we'll talk about subscribers. Thank you for... I guess what's his name? God damn.
Damn it. Oh.
God damn it. King Bull God just subscribed.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yep. And also, we just got a new woman has been added to the Bearded Warriors and Amazonian Princesses. Her name is Abrecht. Sorry. She's French-Canadian, and she just joined our Bearded Warriors and Amazonian Princesses team, and she just subscribed as well. So welcome, you new guys.
She's French-Canadian? Does she know Rico?
She might know Rico.
They all know each other.
They all know
right?
each other, just like, you live like Michael lives in Texas.
All of us
he knows
gay
everybody.
guys know each other.
All the
Everybody
gay guys
in
know
Texas.
each other. Yeah, everybody in Texas. Texas is a tiny little state, it's really small.
It's a whole other country.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole other country.
Yeah. Oh, Co is here.
I'm from there, I know that.
Hey, Co.
Come again!
Come again, Co Carnage. Everybody give Co Carnage a big hug in his face. No, Co is an amazing streamer, everybody. He's a great mentor of mine and also part of our Bearded Warriors team. Welcome, Co. All right, let's...
playing some amazing...
Skyrim.
Well, and Skyrim, and wasn't he doing
Fallout 3, yeah.
Fallout. The no-ranged stuff, I'm like, no. I would not play it no-ranged.
Yeah.
Hell no. Okay. So, from either Red One or Redone 408.
Let's go with Redone.
Let's go with Redone 408. How much of an advantage will players that have spent a ton of money on ships have over players who want to wait for release?
I think none.
Well, they can only fly one of them at a time. Yeah.
Right. So. And do me earning English. Will I owning a Starfarer help me out in the dogfighting module any better than somebody who's been playing with their Aurora the entire time? Probably not.
In terms of skill and when you're in the same ship, they're not going to have any advantage. But if you want to make a lot of money at the beginning, something with a bigger cargo capacity, might get you in your role quicker than, not having that. And if that's your goal, then maybe, a cheaper ship might not always.
Because, Chris Roberts has said on several occasions that different ships handle very differently because depending on where the engine is based, or where the majority of the mass is, or whatever. Somebody who has bought a ship that is not yet available or won't be available until release, they will have had time to practice with it, get used to how it handles, how to fly it properly. Whereas somebody who's waiting until release, they may not necessarily have. But that, again, doesn't really have anything to do with the amount of money they spent, really. It does, but it doesn't.
I don't know.
All I was getting at is that, if for instance, if your idea is you want to be a trader and you don't spend $100 on something that has a little bit more cargo space, you're just a little bit slower off the bat when, you're just going to have to grind up until you get to the same level. Because when you compare in dogfighting, you're comparing skill that you experience and expertise that you build up, whereas with trading you build up the same experience and know-how, but if your ship is just capable of more, then it just
and then also people who have these large ships, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have the advantage also, because you got to think, starting out you might only have a certain amount of UE credits, and the fuel, the maintenance, that you might have to start off with one of your smaller ships to build up your credits to be able to fly one of the big ships.
That's where your LTI comes in really handy.
And blowing up,
and the guys with the big ships make a much tastier target.
Yeah,
that's true. Especially when they don't know how to use it yet.
All I have to do is call DICE and say, "Hey, back me up, guys."
We will.
Yep.
As long as nobody knows Imperium's not watching.
Well, I have to go.
One of the great things is, at this point, it doesn't matter whether you bought your 300i or your Hornet several months ago or now. Everybody's starting from square one, so we're starting with the same skill set, and the only as you were mentioning, the only differences between the actual twitch skills and the flight sticks you're using.
Real quick pause. Co just subscribed again. Thank you, Co. But I wanted to make a little shout out. I'm sorry I keep interrupting the show for the shout outs, but Chris, who is a great friend of our stream, has an amazing fun guy to watch, just got his partnership with Twitch.
Oh, congrats.
So congratulations, man. Chris. Love you in the face, and you're a really amazing, fun streamer to watch, so congratulations, buddy. You totally deserve it. All right, let's keep going. Next question, please.
From Ranger XML, this may fall very squarely into the can't answer that thing. Will the Xi'an Scout be released in the hangar or even Arena Commander?
Arena Commander, yes, I see.
AC stand for?
Assassin's Creed, because I played the hell out of that.
I haven't a clue.
Anthrocon, alternating current. What does it stand for today?
Who has a clue?
I have not a clue.
You have not a clue. I guess you can't say.
There we go.
There we go.
Nobody knows.
Do we get a model in the hangar until it's ready to show? I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And they could do it very much like they did with the Next Great Starship ships. You can't get into it, but you can walk around it and look at it. Because they could do it like that. Or they could have it hanging up on strings, like the space shuttle in the Smithsonian or something. Yeah. Big strings, very big strings. From Cyberwolf, whom we haven't heard from in so long in this thing.
We
already did that one.
Yeah, we did that one. So, too bad. No, we did that one. From Rico, Nevermind.
Yes, come on. Can we have a sock puppet called Tren? And he's a little gay sock puppet.
Look, see, that sounds so gross.
Little happy gay sock puppet.
Oh, we'll have to put that on the show.
That's what I'm saying.
We done?
Okay, yes, okay, we can move on.
All right.
Still thinking of sock puppet.
Which is, I've done puppet. Where the hell is he? Because I've got my wolf puppet that I used to use on the puppet show that I used to do, and I've got my moose puppet that I used to do on the puppet show that I used to do. Ooh, sorry, Nair. His name is Nair.
And you hurt his feelings by throwing the moose.
No, I didn't know. He's got no brain in right now because it's right here.
Hair?
No, actually, he eats pillows. Most, and just like or socks, except for sock puppets because that would be cannibalism of a sort. But like dryers eat socks.
Just the left ones. Just the left ones.
He's
predatory moose.
Well, no, he's a Canadian moose from Scotland with a Russian accent.
Nice.
And that's why his name is Nair. N-E'-E-R. It's Nair as in Nair do that again. But his voice that's actually his full name is Nair do that again. Anyway. So from Kimball, which is a question I didn't have a chance to pre-read, so pardon my stumblage, my stumblage. To Monsieur Morlan, did you say earlier in the stream that you would do a show in the VR world where we can sit in the same VR room a la David Letterman style with our VR glasses?
Well, I didn't say that, but what I would do perhaps is set up a stereo camera on our show for a segment, and give everybody a chance to put on their Oculus Rift and enjoy that segment in 3D.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, so not virtual, but live people in 3D. That's a possibility. And it's something I wanted to do with Wingman's Hangar, but we never got a chance to.
From Northern 88, what are you most nervous about with the new show?
Sitting behind that desk. That's a huge responsibility, and just trying to be myself. Now, fortunately, I have Carla, who's going to be directing me and watching me, and helping me kind of not go off the rails.
Pretty good.
Sorry, email just came in from my dad.
Oh, ding.
What?
You got a personal transceiver in your ear?
No, it came up on my iPad. Popped up. What? But then I heard, I think, somebody tinking a bottle.
Nope, Trendane, you're really losing it.
Wow.
You have to have had it before you.
That's true. Yeah.
So, question from, we decided it was redone, right? Okay, good. From Redone 408 for Core of Existence. Do you consider Imperium as sort of a space police?
Not even in the smallest form of anything. No.
Absolutely not.
There is no mention of us, pretending or being space police. We're just our own sovereign entity that will continue to remain sovereign from everything until such a time that we choose not to be sovereign from something else. But no, we are not the space police. We are not the overarching justice hammer out in null space. We don't consider us anything like that. So we're, like I said, we're just Imperium, and you have a few rules. That's, as long as members abide by our code of conduct, there will be no issues. But we do have our own set of rules.
Nice. All right.
From goes what? In what order will the different modules for Star Citizen come out? Starting with the DFM, and you're already missing a couple right there.
Yeah. Angar.
Right.
There's the hangar module, the org module, the multi.
There's actually a link for that they put up. It's a new little honeycomb setup that they have on the website now that you can actually click on each one.
Yeah, I guess we're looking for, like, after the DFM, we go into our social module, right? That was
I guess they need to start getting some persistent universe elements in there. Right. One of the things is our hangar doesn't actually update and stay the same. We can't move things around and have them return to that right now. So I'd like to see, our hangar be able to kind of. It's very basic stuff right now, but it's not like they're only starting to bring up some back end server kind of stuff right now. But I'd like to see the PU come up a little bit more robust.
Yeah, I posted it in chat. The next one is Spectral Games testing. Then they go over there to first person shooter status production. Then they got Squadron 42, Planet Side, and Persistent Universe in a round honeycomb shape.
What are they saying they're going to do for Squadron 42?
Right now, it just says coming soon when you highlight over it.
Sure. I thought that would have been before.
That stuff, I'm pretty, because they're going to release it episodically. I'm pretty sure that stuff is going to be closer to. They're going to release it episodically before the PU comes out. So I think that stuff is going to come closer to like the end of this year, into next year.
Well, that's a lot of assets to build.
Yeah.
For Squadron 42 as well. Although they're designing it so they can reuse things between the PU and Squadron 42. But wow, that's a huge effort.
And voice acting and motion capture and all sorts of other fun stuff.
Yeah, that's a narrative thing.
From Angry Peas.
Peas.
Just how damaging was it for you to see your first... Let me start that again. Just how damaging was it for you to see your comic version
of yourself?
Good, he knows what I'm talking about. Excellent.
He's featured me in his comic. At least you got the beard right, so I think we're okay.
That's what matters, clearly.
The beard, always important. From Northern 88, question for some asshat named Trendane. Has anyone ever said that you look like a guy from Storage Ward? Or Storage Hunters, or whatever the hell it's called. No, I usually get compared to the guy from King of Queens more often than anything.
Kevin James? Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, fine, whatever. I've never watched the show. I don't really know who it is.
Well, actually, then you look just like him. You're identical. You need to watch the show.
Okay.
No, I don't think he looks like Kevin James.
No, he doesn't. A little bit. I can see it a little bit.
I don't think he looks like Kevin James at all.
No, he doesn't.
He just looks like Trendane.
He looks like Trendane.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's only one Trendane. He's everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. From Northern 88. Okay, sorry. There was. Mike, what is your weekly schedule going to be like with the new show?
Oh, a complete clusterfuck.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, at least we have a good understanding where we should start.
We're, I learned some things working on the Wingman's Hangar show. We would start week off, like we said, with an editorial meeting, kind of decide what was going to be on the show, and then 3 or 4 days of producing all the segments that might be involved, talking with people about their parts, their submissions, lining up guests for shows in the future, because we hope to have our guests kind of lined up 2 or 3 shows ahead. Nice. And then just shooting. Typically, we would shoot Thursday mornings on the anchor set. Anything we didn't do, elsewhere as part of a segment. And then Thursday, during the rest of the day, I'd be cutting that together and assembling the whole thing with all the graphics and picking up the edit and everything. And then upload overnight, and hopefully everything works, and stream the next morning.
Cool.
Now, one of the things I'd love to get back to, which is what we did originally with Wingman's Hangar, was live. Without we got so I ended up slicking up the production so much that, and we were adding so many elements that that it was really hard for me to actually do a live show. So that's why we sort of backed off from it. But I'd like to kind of step back to this kind of format. On occasion, and just kind of do a show live on the air without any safety net. That'd be kind of fun too.
It's fun without the safety net. We do it every week.
We'll just kind of do it. We switched to a different format, I think. From the talk show format, and just kind of switch another format for the occasional live stream. Here we are. Hey, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Because then he has uncomfortable pauses like just then. It's the best.
Yeah.
We have a safety net on this show. When we upload it to YouTube, we add all of the ratings, so it's like mature language, nudity, flashing lights for people who might have fits, like
apparent drug use and violence.
Yes, extreme drug use, everything under the sun. So we cast all the safety nets. We're completely legally safe.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All right. What's the matter, Trendane? Your water smells like water? Oh.
We're trying to figure out where the drugs are that we're talking about us using. And
Oh.
I mean, the best I've got are these haw flakes.
I know. I thought it was on drugs when I was watching him play Spore and all the colors were popping up.
Yeah, what's with the psychedelic shit? That was crazy.
I don't know. Maybe you took too many of these.
What is that?
They're haw flakes. Haw flakes. Haw flakes.
It looks like it's written in Chinese or something.
It is.
Oh, ancient Chinese secret.
They're compressed, dehydrated hawthorn berry discs. They're usually taken with bitter Chinese tea, just to sweeten it up a little bit. Anyway, they're quite tasty, very mild, they're sweet, but they're not super sweet, so they're quite nice. Anyway, from Sentinels, will there be a family system including marriage, adoption, and making of babies?
What?
No.
Making babies.
Thank you for the demonstration.
That's sign language for fun.
On how to make
Is it?
Yes.
I thought it'd be like that. That's a lesbian one. That's scissoring. That's different.
You know, I think that people will find a way, kind of like from Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
They'll find a way to create marriage ceremonies and create, major events. So I saw that happen in Ultima Online back in the day, and people would they would get married online in the game, and that was an incredible thing. I don't think there's going to be a baby mechanic.
Making the babies.
Well, I mean, you already
Although
got
you can try. I mean.
It's them both going in to buy an account is what, making...
Right.
I mean, they already got the money
down on the Aurora.
When you guys get divorced, she gets half your hanger. I want that ship and that. No, it's my favorite. I don't care. I'm taking that one with me too.
There's a good
divorce lawyer.
You have some space lawyers somewhere.
Yeah,
divorce lawyers just everywhere, coming out of the woodwork.
Divorce mechanics.
Well, I mean, you kind of already have that in the game when you die and you leave it to your significant other, or but it's you yourself, just going to the next generation.
Yeah, look, that's just you and you. I mean, we're talking about actual interaction with other human beings.
I don't want to do that. What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure I'll have my wife jump in Star Citizen sooner or later.
That would be one hell of a first-person shooter, says Squirrel. Boom! Yeah, I'm here all week. Try the veal. It's great. Good stuff.
Okay, I really should have been taking that time to read the next question. From Avenir Dutch. Michael, I'm from the Netherlands, and I don't know many actors / cinematographers, I presume. What?
Cinematographers, yes.
Okay, all right. That's what I... Yeah, okay. But you do have a familiar face. Anything the Europe crowd could know you from?
Absolutely nothing. This is probably it. Wingman's Hangar has kind of been the greatest exposure I've gotten out in the world, especially the Netherlands. But thank you for that. I've got a funny face, I suppose.
Yeah.
From Impassive Kill. What was that sigh for? No, it wasn't you, Core. I don't think.
No, I know it was him.
It sounded like a Domo sigh. Is what that was.
I was sighing because I was laughing because Mr. Poundside says, "I want to be romanced when I get married. Something exciting and beautiful like getting married in a LOL pug group."
Oh my gosh!
Yes, it's incredibly romantic
It is.
for the first 10 seconds,
10
and
seconds.
then somebody picks a hero.
What the?
Yeah, exactly.
From Impassive Killjoy. Mr. Michael, are you related to Scott Manley?
I'm not, but I'm looking forward to getting him on my show.
Awesome. Can you do a Scottish brogue?
It's been a while. I'm not even going to try that.
Go,
one.
Trendane. Trendane's good at it. Go.
Trendane, you got that one, right?
Make us go, funny man. Make us laugh. See, he does it every time I say that to him. He locks up. He goes, fuck you. I ain't doing
Deadpan was
this.
amazing.
That's not true. That's not true. I didn't lock up. That was not what that was. That was just, I was basically biding my time, trying to figure out exactly what I was going to say before I had to say it. That's all. And that's more of an Edinburgh thing. It's not Glaswegian.
Burglar had committed murder.
Murder!
I did a one-act play in college where I had to play a Scottish criminal, and my entire job in the play was winding up this young Scotland Yard guy, and it was just great. Yeah, because you got to tell jokes, like the guy would say something. It was a lot of it was ad-libbed. He had to say stuff like so he said something like you've lost your marbles, and I was just like, oh, you're right, I lost my marbles. You should check your mother's bedstand. I might have left a couple there.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That was pretty good, Harris.
All right, next.
I had to get in like.
We're running out of time. We got 5 minutes, so we have to do a couple of quickies.
Oh my god! Okay. From the Snowed One.
What's up, girl?
What feedback? What feedback from the?
What's up, bro?
I don't understand.
See, he doesn't know. Just I got the moves. The ladies. What's up, girl?
Okay. So, what feedback from the community do you think changed the format of Wingman's Hangar the most over the course of the show?
Oh, that's a good question.
Wow. Well, and there was always a little bit of again, we were talking about the outliers who were the most vocal about things. I think there was always a little tension between the fluff and the stuff. There's some people that just wanted this hardcore stats and details kind of show. And that wasn't us. I think people like Wes with The Whole Truth do a great job with that. And I think, in fact, we're looking forward to having Wes on our show for a segment. That's kind of the hardcore news.
Good.
So I think, remember, this thing all started out with just two dorks in front of a webcam and in a basement office. So anything we did evolved from that was going to be a good thing. I don't think there was so much. As I was mentioning, we would float a new concept or a new segment, and if it was really just panned, we'd kill it. But the format that we had come up with the kind of the news of the show, news of the game, and then some forum feedback and a news package and an interview. And at the time, there was also real space news. That was kind of we were working with that by maybe episode 6 or 7, and that kind of survived through the entire thing until we were kind of directed to kind of do a show about nothing but Star Citizen, and we lost some of those the more fun elements like space news, and Hazy Thoughts got kind of relegated to the tag at the end of the show.
Can I ask you real quick? Can you give us some of the breakdown of some of the people that you're going to be having on? You said you're going to have Wes doing like a Hall Truth news thing. What else?
Ken Shadow looks like he might be on the first show. We're talking with him about that.
Okay, great.
Just because he's kind of he's representative of the fan base that we're hoping to inspire to come produce things with us.
Mm-hmm.
I got an interesting interview set up with a couple girls from the YouTube Weird Girls channel.
Okay.
And Kelly Nova from the Weird Girls is a gamer and a cosplayer, and she's going to be joining us a couple episodes. And just had a great conversation. I won't say with whom. This gentleman has a daughter who's it's just an amazing young lady growing up as a girl in this country, unusually interested in science and space and female empowerment. And I think that she's going to make a great guest to talk about her interest in games and her interest in science and space. I think it's going to be a great mix. And her father will be on there with us. And he's got a deep background. I worked with him at Origin Systems. And he's an amazing character as well. So I think that's kind of our first lineup so far.
Awesome. Yeah, we love Ken Shadow here. He's one of our tribe members, and he's here on almost every stream we do. So,
Brian's easy because he's here in Austin with me. So,
that's great.
I'm looking forward to interviewing some people from around the world. So, it's right now we're just kind of making it easy so we can have people in the studio with us. But there's going to be a lot of Skype interviews and getting a chance to meet people.
That's awesome. Yeah, isn't that great that you can go everywhere? I mean, right now, you're in Austin, Chendane's in California, Harris is in Chicago, Core's in Netherlands, and Clifford's in Texas. And I'm in New York.
Houston. One of the things we'd like to be able to do is as the big cons roll around. I'd like to be able to figure out how to get out to them and meet some people again.
Welcome to Gamescom.
Yeah, Gamescom was so amazing, and it's not something that's in our budget right now, but
it's big money over there.
when CIG was paying the tab, it was easy to get out there, but
yeah, I understand, but
yeah, so we'll figure out how to go about that.
All right, let's do one more question real quick for Michael, if you want to, Trendane, and then we have to do our giveaway, and then we'll wrap up because we're running out of time.
Okay, well,
any of them is fine.
Any other? We'll go with one from Cyberwolf.
Okay.
Just because we haven't heard that much from him today.
Not at all.
So, Michael, when they were first filming the green screen mocap actors, I saw you being the cameraman. Who was doing that now that you're not at CIG?
Right. Of course, green screen and motion capture aren't exactly the same thing, but I get what you're saying. I was actually in there in the frame holding the motion capture camera, which was kind of fun. I got to do that on that because, I have a background as a union camera operator. So, anybody can pick that up. The cool thing about the way that the motion capture system, that full motion capture system is and then what they were doing with that session, in addition to you seeing me with the camera, is they can get all of the actor performances on one day or 2 days, and then they can come back with the camera operator and replay the performances and perfect the camera moves without having to do that with the actors.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's a little harder that way because you don't have the physical presence of the actors that you're working around. It's a little bit different. All you do is have them on the screen in the virtual presence. And as an operator, I've always found that I'm another character in a scene, and then I'm making an observation as if I was just another character in the scene. And that's part of the magic of camera work and editing is it becomes invisible, done well, and you lose that sense of being an observer but actually being present in the moment, present in the scene. So it's I think it's great to have that camera, that virtual camera, right there with the actors as they're doing their performances, and then you can maybe do some pickups and cleanups. I'm not sure who I might do it afterwards. Maybe they'll call me in. It's a lot of fun to try your hand at it. So who knows? And it's very forgiving because they can always clean it up and post if it didn't quite work.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Awesome. All right, 3 seconds. Here we go. It is time to do the giveaway. And 108,038 tickets.
I think you're doling out too many tickets there, though.
Well, we do have a little bit of bloat left over after our Madman Moose charity event that we did.
And watch, somebody's going to win with 6.
Somebody's going to win with 6. True. Yes. So here we go, guys. You are all big followers and supporters of our show here and my channel, so thank you so much, everybody, for being here, being VIPs. Let's go ahead and just give this away. You know the procedure. If you win it, just send me a message, and I will fire it over to you as soon as the show is over tonight. Thank you all for your support. Here we go.
Yay.
Yoko Rose.
Oh, my God.
Yoko frickin' Rose.
11,000 tickets.
Third time's a charm, Yoko. 3 ships in a row you've won from us, Yoko.
I was so close.
You were so close.
I was so close.
10% chance to win.
10.4% chance to win.
That's ridiculously high, I gotta say.
Yeah.
But
Yoko
now,
dumped in all of his coins. What?
I was gonna say, now he doesn't have as many coins now. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for next week, he'll be back up to like 7K, judging with the current trend.
No, we're fixing it. We're gonna institute a tax system, and we're gonna levy people and charge them.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because I still have like 6,000, but I'm not doing anything.
Yoko was throwing
his
his coins away because he knew about the cap coming up. So, all right, well, awesome. I want to thank all of the guests here, of course, tonight, all the normal crew, Mr. Harris, Core, Trendane, and Clifford. Thank you guys so much for being here, and a special shout out to Mr. Michael Morlan for being here tonight. An absolutely great guest. Thank you so much for being here.
Yep. Thank you for having me. I look forward to having all you guys on my show.
Oh, we will come.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
we'll just do this from your show. This will.
Let's carry it over.
Okay.
We can have
I recorded this, so I'll just play it back on my show. All right.
Absolutely, you can. I was going to say that this is available to anybody. Anybody who's a guest on the show is able to put this on the YouTube channel, whatever. It's completely available to you guys to use. It's not Creative Commons, but it's available to anybody who's on the show. It's kind of like the whatever. But anyway, this will go up on my YouTube, and you're more than ready to grab it. You can grab it down. Let's talk real quick one more time, Michael, about your Patreon. Patreon.
Sure. Patreon.com.
Patreon.com.
Go to patreon.com/Michael Morlan, and that's kind of our central place for where we're producing the show, where people have an opportunity to provide a little support, and we'll be doing a lot of our dialogue there and through related private forums.
Did you see how many patrons you had earlier when we started?
Let's see where we are right now. I'll just kind of take a quick glance at that.
I think we gained a few on the show somewhere. Yeah.
We're at 313 patrons and $1,463 per show.
Nice.
Oh, cool. It's a nice. Well, I think, and it's surprisingly there's we have the $1 pledge level, but surprisingly there's a lot of people at the higher pledge levels. Mm-hmm. Because we're giving, I think it's an opportunity to be more involved in the production of the show, and some of the giveaways in the higher pledge levels include me doing custom ringtones and cool. Custom greetings for them. So, yeah. Just for fun, we're gonna have some good time with that.
That'll be fun. Yeah. All right. Yeah, great show tonight. Thanks everybody, and we will see you all next time in the verse. So, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.
Be careless.
Bye bye.